Hello guys, it's Doggedly Handsome here, and welcome back to another YouTube video. And today I'll be showing off the custom Lego Death Star that I built entirely out of my own Legos, and it is made of various accumulated Lego sets, mostly Lego Star Wars and Lego Minecraft. And it stands at 1 foot tall. And now let's get into looking at all 15 rooms in this thing. And we're going to be starting with the 4th floor and making our way down, and we're going to start with Emperor Palpatine's throne room. And in here we have a little swivelly chair for Palpatine. And then there's a balcony here, and in the movie, Darth Vader throws his lightsaber to knock down the balcony that Luke's on, so you can just push down on here and it falls down. And there's railings here, because I couldn't fit a hole in here, so you just take Palpatine and throw him off the side of the Death Star. He actually made a perfect landing on his butt there. That's pretty amusing. Anyways, on to the next room. And in here, this is like the kind of Death Star firing room or whatever it is, where Tarkin's like, you may fire when ready. And in here, there's a swiveling control table thing here with some printed control panels on it. And then we've got some sort of targeting thing here. Now we're going to move on to the next room. The next room is the conference room. Just trying to get this angled right here. And in here we've got just a table and 3 swivelly chairs and a doorway out, very basic. Now we're going to move on to the last room for the 4th floor. Just gotta swivel this around, which this is actually part of the 3rd floor's room. And this is the room where Obi-Wan goes and turns off the thing that's keeping them inside the Death Star. So here we've got like a little energy beam going up there, and then there's levers here to pull. And then this can actually be very easily popped off, and it's attached to 2 doorways. So if I want easier access to the next floor, I can do that. And there's a control panel here, because I had some space to put something there. So I just put a control panel over there with a thing for a stormtrooper to stand on. And yeah. And now we'll be moving on to the 3rd floor, starting with the hangar bay area. And first, there's a Lego Millennium Falcon that I built to put in here, but we'll get to all of the vehicle-related things later. Anyways, in here there's just a gun rack in the corner with a thing to pop a crate on. Just put some troopers in here, and there's a window over there. And that's pretty much it for this room. We'll come back to this room later, though. Anyways, on to the next room, which is right below the thing for Obi-Wan. This is the, like, Death Star firing room slash the room that our heroes escape to after getting out of the hangar bay. And then first, the Death Star laser can move to the side for easier access for playing with this room. There's 2 crates in this room, 1 on either side. And then there's some control panels here for firing the Death Star laser. And then there's the little... then that's supposed to be the room they escaped to after escaping the hangar bay up there. So, you know, we've got C-3PO looking through the window, R2 at the control panels, and whatever. And then, moving on to the other side of the room. Just gotta move this laser around again. Here we've just got a simple ladder going up to that other room in there. And I put, like, a bunch of detail on the sides of the laser, so we've got, like, hoses going up onto there, and, like, these sticker pieces, and I'm very proud of that room. Anyways, moving on to the next room, which is the prison block room. And in here we have just some control panels, the phone here, or whatever it is, and then we've got a light that swivels around and moves up and down. It could also be a security camera too. Yeah. And then we've got a control panel on the side of this wall here, and you can look through the hallway. You can't really get your fingers in there that easily, which is why the back of this wall can pop off, and you can place Leia or whoever it is you want to put in there. Anyways, that looks pretty good. And then you can just take this wall, and you can pop it back on. Having a bit of trouble here, trying to get around the phones that I have over here, like the lighting phone and recording. There we go. Popped it back on. And now we'll move on to the next room, which is that huge, I don't know what it's called, reactor shaft or something. It's that room they swing across. Anyways, we've got a rope here, and it's attached to these things on the ceiling, which can be taken off to extend the rope more. And then on the other side, we've got a stormtrooper just standing here. And here's a cool play feature I thought was pretty fun to make. It has a sliding blast door. So up here, there's a lever that can be pulled along here. Anyways, I'll show you what that does now. We'll just close the blast door. Didn't get it quite perfectly up in the hole here, and I didn't notice that till I finished it. But I can't really change it because that would make it too hard to pose figures in the doorways. So that can close up again here. And anyways, that is it for the third floor. Now we'll be moving on to the second floor. Now we are on the second floor of the Lego Death Star, starting with the bit right below the hangar bay. And here we've got like a loading crane that swivels around, and the arm here can come out more to put the crate in farther areas, and the little finger things or whatever, the claws, can go in and out. And then there's a crate on there, and it can have crates stick to the top so it can carry them, and it can fit a figure in there, and it just has some levers and stuff for the figure to operate. And then over here is a really cool part in my opinion. There's an elevator, and then the elevator just goes up to the hangar bay, which is, in my opinion, the coolest part of the hangar bay here. And then it can just go right back down. Just push down on it. And then it has these things here to put crates on it, and you can also put stormtroopers and stuff on there. And that is it for that room. Moving on to the next room, we've got a droid repair room. And in here, there's a little table or whatever to put a droid on for repairing. There's a tool bin here that can pop on and off. And you can just put a bunch of tools in there. And there's also like this tool rack back in there that can spin around like a magazine rack or something. And then it can also pop off if I want to pop that off. Then moving on to the next room is the trash compactor room. And in here we've just got some guidelines so the thing can't fall out because it's actually just loosely sitting here. And of course, it can open and close to crush things. And then we've got the pipe they use to stall it from closing. And then moving on to the next room, we've got this sort of outside the Death Star area where it's got one of the Death Star turbo lasers, and it can swivel around and move up and down. And it has some spring-loaded missiles in there, which all I gotta do is put my fingers in those little holes, and it will fire off these spring-loaded missiles. Anyways, now we are going to move on to floor number 1. Moving on to floor number 1, these are just like little mini builds of scenes from the Death Star. So first we've got the Death Star trench run, and there's Luke's X-Wing there as like a little miniature build. And it has like a little blue stud representing R2-D2. And then the little turbo laser cannon here can swivel from side to side. That's pretty cool. And then moving on to the next room is just the part where in the, what's it called again? Return of the Jedi, where they go down the hole into the Death Star reactor room. And then moving on from there, we've got inside the Death Star, where there's just a bunch of red beams, and each one of these rooms has a little micro build. So here's a little TIE fighter. And then, well, each of the scenes except for the entrance to the reactor shaft. And then in the actual reactor shaft itself, we've got a little Millennium Falcon build. And that is it for the bottom floor. Now we're going to move on to showing off all of the vehicles. Moving on to the little mini builds. First, I'll start with like the mini builds. So first we've got Luke's X-Wing, and they're all just pretty simple little designs. Then we've got a little TIE fighter, this cool printed piece here. Like, that's pretty cool. And then we've got a little miniature Millennium Falcon. So here's this thing. Okay, this part just keeps on popping off. And then we've got the big guy in here. We've got the little Millennium Falcon build that can fit a figure in it. So here we go. It's got like some landing gear on the bottom here. And then a turret that can swivel around the place. And then it's like got all the, I don't know what to call that, the engines on the back. And then there's the escape pod that we see come off in Solo movies, so this thing can pop off here. And then it looks like the more familiar Millennium Falcon. And then, you know, we've got like the cockpit area. And then here's the roof, and this can pop off. And inside we've got like some, for the thing holding up the roof, it's the coaxium, I think it's called, and we can pop that off if you want. And there's the all-important chess table, and we've got just a control panel here. You can have a figure operate. And then with the roof closed, you can actually fit one minifigure in here. So I'll just pop Leia in here. Now I'll try and get the roof back on, and there we go. I can fit one minifigure in there with the roof closed. And that is it for the micro builds. Now we'll move on to some fun facts. So when building the Lego Death Star, what I did is I started by building the bottom floor, and then I built up the walls a little bit. And then I built in all the rooms. And then I moved on and I built the next floor, and then I built all the rooms. I start with building the floors and then building walls. There was a lot of troubleshooting with trying to get the floors to be round and stuff. And the build is supposed to be like Lego's Lego Death Star. And anyways, once I got up to here, since I built it from the middle floor up, I had to build the bottom floor. So what I did is I made Lego pillars on the sides, like little supports. And then I flipped the build upside down, then I built on the walls here. And then I built the floors, and then I flipped it back around and built the insides of those rooms. Also, the bottom rooms with the micro builds and the Millennium Falcon were built like a week or two after I built the actual Lego Death Star and made the original video on it. And when I was building it, I actually started to run out of gray bricks. So what I did here is I did light gray bricks along the side of the wall here. Let me get a flashlight here. So I put light gray bricks along the side of the wall there, and then I put some dark gray bricks along that, and then some brown bricks on the back there, because I was even running out of the dark gray now. And so I made it so it would look more like a natural transition. And I think it turned out really well. You barely notice the brown bricks on the lower floors. Also, the custom Lego Death Star is made mostly of accumulated Lego Star Wars and Lego Minecraft sets over the years, but it also uses some pieces from Mega Construx Halo sets. So like certain joint pieces I found to be useful for building certain parts of it. And anyways, that is going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye!